So this is
Evening.
Eco Chakra Abhiyan Trust. This is the second part of our series, Saturday for Sustainability. And we are again here to converse about sustainability in waste management area. Basically, it is not waste. We would rather call it resource. And we are a trust which is into upcycling, wastewater management, solid waste management. We have a group of experts across India, and all these experts work on in different fields. They have different NGOs, companies. Like I have a company. There are many people who are, running NGOs and companies both. And so this is a platform where we all get together, and we are trying to. We have just started like 1.5 years ago, and we wish to work on firstly policy and rules. Secondly, the implementation part of waste to resource, and thirdly, the awareness and campaign of this particular area in circular economy. So here is an expert from Coimbatore, Mr. Suresh Bhandari, and he is a man of varied skills and implementation in the area of resource management. And he is a zoology graduate, has worked for Exonora, Sukiki, and Viroses, and is a co-founder of Clean Cities Foundation, Unwaste Network, and No Dumping Trust. And he started this in Coimbatore in 2016 with the sole goal of campaigning and making aware about the waste to resource area. And he started it for free. So let's welcome Mr. Suresh Bhandari. Good morning, Mr. Suresh Bhandari. Welcome. Your mic is on mute.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you, Pranay. Yeah, let's start. Thank you. Very good thing. So basically, when we had this chat, the first question is we are talking about creating a business model. What is the necessity of creating this as a business model? That's the basic thing which
Yes,
I
of
think.
course. We will be delighted to. So how
Yeah.
did you start
So
this particular, campaign in Coimbatore area? And what is the background, your background, basically? We will start from there.
yeah, I started as a volunteer for Explore International in Chennai. It's where I came in touch with garbage, came in touch with waste. I was involved in community-based activities in Exona, where there is a door-to-door waste collection system that we go and ask people to do. Resident Welfare Association, come together and they will start door-to-door collection by appointing engaging one person, and they will contribute 10 rupees per month. This is how it started. So in 1991, I had an opportunity to get into those in that activities. And slowly, time took me to Hyderabad, where I had to implement the same thing with Dr. Reddy's Foundation, where I had a great opportunity working with rack pickers. So I call rack pickers as urban sannyasis because for them there is no attachment. Their needs are very simple. So their only property is this bag where they collect the dry waste and they will sell it, and then their days are. So they are, in a way, they're all my gurus in terms of in how handling the dry waste, how they pick up and sell. So that's then from there I had an opportunity to go to US, where it gave me a lot of uh, understanding about how you look at how do you think, fundamental thinking, how do you think. So it gave a lot of as a personality, it has changed me. Being in US for 6 months. And in Hyderabad, I was about 1995 continuously. I was all alone. So it's about learning by yourself. Uh, it's a great experience being in Hyderabad because there is no one to teach you, there is no one to guide you. You have to take decisions, you have to think about it, and it's all uh, learning by doing. Then after that, I came back, uh, had different opportunities. Then again, I hit the rock bottom of my life, started again from the scratch. So at that time, I had to live from the waste, from the dry waste or recyclables that we collect, and I have to sustain from that. Thank people who had really had trust in me and supported me in those hard times. Then we started the Suzuki Explora with another Mr. Major Shivakaran. He's from Hyderabad. So there we started doing the same thing, composting, uh, got into consultancy works. And so when my first consultancy assignment was in Visakhapatnam, I don't know how the TOR are written, how the agreements are written, how do you charge, what is those things and all, which I'm completely not aware. So they asked me what do you want? He said, give me transportation, food and accommodation, then I'll come and work. That was my terms of reference when an IAS officer asked me to support him. It started and it's a very good Vishakhapatnam. We did about door-to-door collection with the tricycle. There also I've learned wonderful things. Uh, so it's not that this man asked me how you can implement door-to-door collection in segregation. So I was kind of, my mind became black. Uh, then I had to, then there was a message, go to the field. Field will tell you what needs to be done. Do
Okay, so
according
you
to it.
started from there. Also separately.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you started, and then you learned down the way. And how do you think you right now uh, is the behavior of the people, our citizens of India, and what was it earlier when you started collecting waste from
First,
them?
first thing I have to accept what all changes have happened within me before
Okay,
looking at the people. So uh, every year or every time that I uh, work into different projects, I've realized that there is a lot more to be learned. That's the first thing that happened. So at one point of time, I always think that source segregation is the solution. And if you do composting and recyclable, then you can achieve. That is the end of the solid waste management. After that, I had an opportunity working with an IAS officer in Chennai. He made me to realize. He made me to realize that whatever I've learned is nothing. The same question he asked: how do you address the behavioral change? How can you change people? Is the problem is the people, or the problem with the urban local bodies, or is there a problem with uh, the infrastructure or the vehicles which are given? So it's completely whatever I've learned. It made me to unlearn everything and started looking at the waste management in a new perspective. After we did that study, it gave me a new, fresh understanding about waste. How can we change people? So then, one thing that I've realized is changing people's mindset. Uh, it's it's uh, it's easy. Basically, even now when I'm working, if we collect waste on a daily basis, people are willing to segregate it. So it's a lot of changes within me. Then one thing strongly which I've learned is that people are willing to segregate and give, provided we give the service on a regular basis. So segregation is not that big an issue. So far, there is many municipalities that I've worked on. Wherever we go, for the door-to-door waste collection, you have different some rules. Door-to-door waste collection must be having a proper route chart. It has to have a starting point and ending point. It has to have a public address system. It has to have regular people who are working in the same route, and it has to have a vehicle with a double capacity. So it has to have components, compartments for segregation. So there are so many things, and it has to be daily. You cannot change the route. You cannot, like some people say, alternate days. It should not be. When we do the door-to-door collection in this manner, people definitely do segregate and give. So changing behavior change is not a big thing as of now. I feel even in Coimbatore, it's really great. Right now, we do waste management services to apartments. As of now, we have about some 200 apartments where people segregate wet, dry, and sanitary. You can
Okay.
see. So changing people's mindset is not a big deal.
Okay. And how did the government support you at that time, or were they, difficult, or they did not understand what you were trying to do? How did it appear to you?
I appreciate bringing this question actually. Whenever we work with urban local bodies, I have personally worked in various urban local bodies. Everywhere, one common thing that we come across is one commissioner is interested, he will do the work. And the moment the commissioner is transferred, again the entire story changes. So everywhere you go, any place you go, you come across this thing. And especially in working in current city Coimbatore, when we are doing, we found the same again. We hit the same point. Then that's where the spark or thought process came. Why you have parallels for everything? You have education system, you have a parallel thing. You have transportation, you have parallels. You have hospitals, you have parallel. Parallel, I mean private and government. But whereas waste
Hmm.
management, do we have such a good, wonderful waste management? Private uh, is doing good job. And the other thing, eye opener is technology. How far that we are using the technology in waste
Right.
management area. And very important aspect is innovation, innovation
Right.
and creativity. So I strongly believe if you are going to follow the traditional or old ideas, then I don't think we will succeed. People tend to say biogas is failure, composting is failure, it is not profitable, and all those things. But I strongly believe that we have to have a new approach towards this, and we have to have some innovative ideas for waste collection, waste transportation, waste processing, everything. That's where uh, we can current scenario about when you asked about the government. The government, yes, everywhere the same thing. Even if you do great job, also when the government changes, when the official bureaucrat changes, you are still facing a lot of challenges. We're going through all those challenges, and yeah, see, we're already committed to do this thing. Whether new government come, new officers come and go, we will be in waste management. So, if you are very strong enough to feel you have taken up your solid waste management, definitely because it's about 1991. I started as a volunteer. So it's about more than 30 years. Only thing which always, whenever I'm confused, it always tells you waste management, your anchor. Waste management is one thing. You just have to keep yourself with it. But one of very very um, tough times. I had to go through a very tough time in my life in 1999. I was confused whether to after coming back to after coming from back to India from US. Uh, uh, there was a confusion whether to go back to US again or do something in India.
Okay.
So I was stuck and I was suffering a lot. Then I was praying, why I am suffering? What wrong I did? What mistakes I did? That's why I'm suffering. So then was a message saying that you had uh, I mean I have resolved to do that. My life will be in waste management. So I started moving away from that. Then I realized, okay, this life is for waste management. The moment I came back to waste management, from that day, even today, I can say that the Almighty is with me, and He is always taking me in the right direction, and that in a very positive manner. So,
Okay.
how resolved we are, how committed we are, that's very important about it.
So to summarize, because I'm also an entrepreneur, um, to the audience, I am into sustainability businesses, into biodegradable plastic business, into EVs, and we have collaborators in our industry. I do not manufacture all the parts or all the things, and we collaborate. And there are a lot of learnings to do in any industry, whether it is my industry or Mr. Bhandari's industry, a new emerging industry, and it's a very vast and challenging and beautiful industry, because here what we are doing is also impacting the society at very large level. So, and there are differences between cultures, between cities, and as Mr. Bhandali summed up, that you have to form a relationship bond with new bureaucrats and new government official every time they change. Number one is that. Secondly, what he said, that there has to be a passion and commitment from within. So if we have that, we can make any mountains, any river cross. So that is the basic lesson what we can learn from Mr. Bhandari and entrepreneurs all around, actually. Secondly, what we have to learn is how that particular industry works. So until and unless we dirty our hands, we get into the industry, learn on the ground the theoretical knowledge, or these days when we are using social media, YouTube, it looks good. And you have certain things, have certain, I will take the examples of a spice. So if you put elaichi in a chai, and you drink a chai, and that because that vendor is famous or your mother is making, you always relish that chai, right? But when you make it, you a very small little thing like putting how much elaichi in a cup of chai or of 4 cups of chai will basically create dilemma in you, and that chai will not come out as you would have liked. So when you work on the ground, there is a different flavor, and you have to learn from that ground and then build up. It's not only challenging, it is very encouraging also, because it's satisfying at a very different level to the soul. It is different from how we work in a 9 to 5 job, and it is like a baby we create, and we are very proud of that. I think Mr. Bhandari was trying to convey that, and he has conveyed it earlier. And I think Mr. Bhandari said that he used to work in USA. Let's know from him, what did he do in USA, and why suddenly he had to come back to India. And then of course he related the passionate story of how he started. So why
Uh,
what were you doing in USA, Mr. Bhandari?
USA, there is a NGO called Cascadia Quest. What they do is they do conservation work actually. The program is in a very innovative format that they invite international participants across the world. There are about 12, altogether 24 participants. 12 are from internationals. Each one will be working on one particular project. Like there are different projects like wetlands restoration and trails and bridges, logging road decommissioning, and plantation. So there are so many projects. Almost about, I think we were about uh, 8 groups or 6 groups. So each group will have a focus area. So we were ours is ours is a logging road decommissioning project. So it's about the hills that the olden days they used to cut top the trees and bring the logs. They will form a road on the mountains. What our project was, we have to take the road. I mean, properly again restore the slope of those mountains and plant trees. So every year they'll have certain amount of kilometers that they have to. It is a government contract they will get. So we in our group there are about four females and four males, four internationals and four Americans. So we'll have a vehicle every week. We'll from 7 to evening 4 o'clock. We will go to the field and we will put our hands in both.
So you
So
were
it was a
basically in
great multicultural.
right? You were
Yeah, I mean with you.
you were in sustainability area only in USA, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there from there you
So
have India, right?
yeah. So it was a six
Uh,
months program. Uh,
okay,
it was a 6 months program, and again I had an because I was there in US, I had an opportunity to go to various waste management facilities in US, like
okay.
sanitary landfill and a very big waste facility where a lot of
Hmm.
waste is collected and sorted and baled automated.
Okay,
So that's all great learning things, and especially project planning and project execution and
okay.
monitoring, reporting. All these things are really very
Hmm.
great learning for me. I mean, even today, when I have getting into any projects or anything, that approach, that fundamental thinking is real. That is a big takeaway for me from US. And again, multi multicultural background, people with multiculture. So how do we handle our lives in India and other cultures handle it? That was a great thing. So it was 6 months. So after 6 months, I represented from India and for 6 months there. Every year, people get opportunity to go to US in that organization. So I happened to, I had an opportunity to go there in 1998.
You
So
you had
that's
experience. You had a learning experience, and I think you must have benefited from it. Uh, to the would-be entrepreneurs and students who are listening to this program, uh, if we are learn about in detail about project planning, like in Japanese there is a particular methodology or a principle that 90% of the time they devote on planning and 10% on execution. Why do they do that? It is because if you plan in detail at every step, you will never go and fail in execution. Maybe once or twice in the whole project, but rest of the time it will be a flow. And one of the main things people entrepreneur miss in India is management of cash. That is called cash flow. So how did you manage cash if in Coimbatore you were not um, charging any fee for the first 3 years from the apartments as you?
Okay. So coming to Eco Chakra Abhiyan Trust, Mr. Bhandari, how do you see we can support you or you can support us, and we entrepreneurs, NGOs can work together to make India waste free and create more resources and job for India?
yeah. When I was discussing about, I was talking about new approaches in waste management.
Right,
Uh, when uh, when we started doing this, you also asked the question how you manage with the funds when you're doing free of cost the apartments.
right.
Uh, Actually, it was all a spontaneously things happened. It's not that planned and we did that.
Okay,
I must thank the corporation officials because they used to always we used to have lots of challenges with them. Then we thought, okay, we have to have a parallel system for waste management. That's how
okay,
we wanted to start an independent, waste management system. And we realized that when you do it, it is because you don't have a parallel for the government. If you start, the sky is the limit. That's the first aspect. And the technology is very, very important. Without technology, it is not possible. So when we wanted to start that business model activity, but people need to pay. We did a small survey to known people. These people who are very conscious about the environment. When I said you have to pay 150 rupees per month, you have to
okay,
give segregated waste, 150 per month you have to give. We will take it and we'll process it. All of them said, we will segregate and give you, but not sure of paying it.
okay,
That was the response. And I must thank God that one of the apartments where there was a lady. That lady, they are segregating waste from 256 households. This lady went house to house and segregated. All households have segregated and giving. Corporation collects it and mix it up and taking it. There was the opportunity. So when we went and spoke to her, they are willing to
Okay.
give segregated waste. So now the opportunity, if I start asking the money, they may not segregate.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that, okay, government is spending so much money to make people segregate. Here there is a lady who segregates and gives us. So it's
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity. Let us not ask them money. You
Mm-hmm.
segregate and give. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
don't need, we will not pay you, you will not pay me. That's how
Okay.
it started. With that, immediately 3 apartments came together and started free of cost.
Okay.
We didn't have any. I mean, this is the new page in my, my life of waste management, where somebody is having some good faith or good intentions to do segregation, do solid waste management, where we go helping hand. And
Mm-hmm.
there we realized such a wonderful philosophy. Today, you are very committed. You want to do you want to do waste management for everybody. Is it possible?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have power. We don't have money. We are not running the government. We are, individuals who
Mm-hmm.
have some, good faith or good intention to do waste management. Is this sufficient to do waste management for the entire city, for the entire country? No, it's not possible. That's a
Mm-hmm.
very big learning that we had. Then we
Okay.
decided, then what can you do? That is the next question. So
Okay.
decided, yes, you can work with the like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
You have a choice. So when you work with the like-minded people, okay, whatever you do 100% waste management properly with the like-minded people. So there this philosophy evolved. Work with like-minded, willing, and organized communities.
Okay. Okay.
In organized communities, you have 200 families. One president and one
Right.
secretary is enough. If you convince, everything is implemented.
Okay.
When it is like-minded and willing, you don't need to convince.
Right.
That's how that apartment started. You won't, within 1 year, we had 30 apartments signed up
Mm-hmm.
because it's free. People are willing to
Okay.
segregate. See,
Right.
corporation is also picking up free of cost only. Are the people are segregating? If they are
Mm-hmm.
segregating, corporation is fixing. So
Right.
when we did that, then again we had a challenge. When you have one vehicle for connecting both waste,
Mm-hmm.
again there is always possibility to get it mixed.
Right.
You are so committed, I am so committed. Why the driver has to be committed? Driver
Mm-hmm.
only knows to drive the vehicle. You don't need to
Right.
be,
Right.
you may have a lot of you have passion to do this. So he is not motivated. For him, Subeh, 9 baje aa jao, 9 o'clock you
Mm.
come, evening 5 o'clock you go. You finish the work as soon as possible, you go. He is not bothered about
Right.
segregation.
Right.
Then this innovation came, like
Mm-hmm.
wet logistics and dry logistics. You
Right.
make both separate. Both vehicles are separate. You tell
Right.
the driver if it is wet only, you pick up. If there is dry, don't pick up. You tell this driver dry, you pick up. That's how it started. After 1 year, and in between, some CSR support, somebody supported and thing, but it's not very
Mm-hmm.
big.
Mm.
After 1.5 years, in the meantime, we used to put our funds and we were doing it because people are segregating and giving. Imagine
Yeah.
30 apartments giving segregated waste, wet, dry, and
Mm.
sanitary.
Mm.
So after 1.5 years, then we realized this cannot be continued without any financial
Right.
model.
So that is a
Then we
learning.
said, then we said, told the community that we are doing this, we are unable to continue this.
Right.
Then the community said, no, no, we will pay for the service. It's not that
Right.
we ask money. They said they
Right.
will pay for the service.
Mm.
Then the user charges model came in. Earlier we
Mm-hmm.
did 50 rupees. It was not sufficient to sustain. Then we make it 100 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
When
So,
we made 100 rupees, when we convinced the people to pay 100 rupees, the people who
mm-hmm.
worked in my company, they went and started new companies, taking away my
Okay.
clients.
Okay.
Doesn't
But
matter.
you
I mean,
you spread
you
a
have
seed,
so much of,
right?
they have never convinced anybody to give 100 rupees.
So
We did that.
my basic criteria, what I'm trying to convey through you to our audience, and especially to our young audience who wants to be in the industry, what Mr. Bhandari is talking about, creation of an industry, not only a company. So what he was talking about philosophy, you can talk about strategies, and these were the strategies he started. Now he was talking about many years back, maybe a decade back. These days, the concepts have changed. people should know, audience should know that it is projected to be one of the biggest industry in the world, creating thousands and thousands of jobs in coming future. And there is a circular economy draft, principle by EU ready, and they do not want to actually create waste. We'll talk about circular economy later in some other part. And they want to firstly reduce the waste and then upcycle or recycle other things, reuse things. And there are many, many companies based on each of the criteria, each of the R's we are talking about. And these are huge businesses. The only thing is how you use technology, social media, AI, blockchain, and of course your social skills with the people, because ultimately all the things in the industry or business are constant, only the people are variable. They are living organisms who change, who transform, who think. So we have to focus on our people skill first. What Suresh Bandari ji is talking about is how to, kind of work with different type of people. Like he was talking about a driver. He is a stakeholder, but he, at that time, he did not understand that what impact he is making on the whole collection system. And when Mr. Bhandari devised out a method, and maybe the method also came, and now you can see different kinds of vehicles around, green vehicles, blue vehicles. And we know about wet waste management, which is organic waste from domestic. And dry waste means paper, plastic, and these, and we have seen ads of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan saying this is valuable. But the thing in waste or resource is it is valuable only when it is segregated. Even in solid waste management rules of India 2016, segregation at source has been mentioned 17 times in the draft. So it is so important. It is the pillar of this industry. Unless we segregate, we will not be able to clean India, Swachh Bharat, as we call, to a level where Indore has already reached. So what Mr. Bhandari is doing in Coimbatore, or someone else is doing in Wayanad, or let's say Warangal, or Delhi, is different. And we have to learn from experts like Mr. Suresh Bhandari. So coming to the other question, how do you manage profitability? How do you say to the audience listening to us right now, is this industry, is this company profitable right now?
Absolutely. I mean, making things profitable, with my journey here is, um, you have to see the entire gamut of the solid waste management. We call it as a small profit centers. Now, logistics is one profit center.
Okay.
Dry waste management is another profit center. Wet
Okay.
waste management is another profit center. Technology is another profit center.
Okay.
Everything is profit center. How we look at it is that makes difference. Here
Okay.
again, my strong philosophy is don't try things which people have already tried before. That's very
Mm-hmm.
important aspect, because
Okay.
it's people already, there are so many things for 30, 40 years, 50 years failed for
Mm.
various reasons. So there
Mm.
is no meaning of failed thing again you are trying to do. I don't think
Right.
there is a.
So innovate.
So that's what, yeah, innovative. So that's what I strongly believe, that create something which generates, good revenue, which is a
Right.
hot cake.
Right.
So as of now, we were able to do logistics as a profitable activity. We have
Mm-hmm.
a portal. We made sign-ups are easy.
Okay.
You must have heard about AMC contracts. So we have a
Mm-hmm.
waste management contract. So we have
Mm-hmm.
sign up, online sign up. People can come and sign up. We have different service products to them. Like for
Right.
example, monthly service user charges or quantity based user charges, like that.
Okay.
So only wet pickup, only dry pickup, only sanitary waste pickup, like that. Different. For people whatever they want. Those are all things that
Okay.
we did, and we
So,
also did a lot of innovations in terms of awareness, in
mm-hmm.
terms of, I think, even in the apartments when you do the collection, how the housekeeping will work. What are the tools that they need? How it will make easy. Fortunately, today I have to share you, being in this area for so many years. In this apartment where I live today, I came in June. I told the same apartment committee to start segregation. My company will pick up the waste free of cost.
Okay.
Nobody have listened about it. Nobody have listened about it. One fine day, what happened is somebody came from Visakhapatnam to see our activity. So what I thought is, okay, let me show them a demo how the sign up happens.
Right.
So I did signed up and I paid money. I left because I want to check how my team is responding through the portal. Number one, within couple of days, our apartment fellows they called me. Sir, there is a problem. I said, wow, what happened? No, no, sir, there is a problem. I went and asked my friends. My friends told me that you have a fellow waste management person within your apartment. So they came to me. Then I told them, you don't believe. I think yesterday only I gave the kits. Wet to dry. We have 2 bin, 1 bag system.
Okay.
Green, red, and blue. So I gave yesterday. I've given. Today they started.
Okay.
So segregation, they started. There is no big meeting. There is no big convincing. Nothing. We just
Okay.
gave the kit and we asked people to segregate, and they are giving.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so the thing is, how do you communicate? How do you? There is a because corporation did not pick up. They are facing
Uh-huh.
a problem. Now there is an alternative. Private waste fellow is picking up. They said without segregation they cannot pick up. People are doing. So the people are willing. So the key, what I'm trying to tell you is small things. So now I gave the kit, household kit we have that people have to buy, and there is a collection kit, a small pushcart with respective bins with small tools, gloves, and all those stuff. Earlier we used to say how. How means habit orientation workshop.
Okay.
Habit orientation workshop. That we orient the old behavior to new,
Okay.
old habit to new habit. So we
Right.
call everybody, we tell all those things. So the other concept is called T, thought, environment, and action. So these are all the small things that we do. Now it's all available in our portal, so people can just go and see and do it. So these things, like where we have when we looked at the housekeeping staff point of view, how they are collecting, they drag the bags after sometimes they drag the bin. It's not scientific. It's not ergonomically designed. So we designed a small pushcart that fits into the lift.
Oh,
Every
great.
day morning, this housekeeping staff come with a small pushcart, which have a green bin, blue bag, and sanitary red bin. She
Right.
will come, knock the door by 8 o'clock. Everybody keeps out. Then she will pick up from the corridor. She will go and we have a pickup point where the waste is not kept exposed. Everything is packed and kept neatly.
Right.
So our vehicle comes, wet waste vehicle comes, picks up and go. Dry waste vehicle comes and picks up and go, and it all happens within a day. Within
Okay.
the generation of 2-3 hours, everything is gone.
Okay.
So small innovations. So
Right.
here, when we did that, the very important aspect is scheduled pickup. Scheduled pickup is when I give you time to pick up, we come and pick up.
Right.
And we
Right.
have every vehicle, we have GPRS systems. We track our vehicles. We have a route map. We call it as, a wet route and dry routes. So
Okay.
every time, everything is monitored. We have a logistics manager. We have wet logistics manager. We have dry logistics manager. We have dedicated logistics manager. We have wet processing facilities. We have dry processing facilities. So each and everything, our approach is we are trying to look every activity as a profit center.
Right.
Logistics is a profit center. Okay, let me say, okay, I get 100 rupees. This is what my expenditure I've allocated for logistics. I have to fit into that. So here,
Right.
this will be now the allocated funds in the logistics department. They have to create profits from there.
Right.
Is that lookout? The driveways which we are giving to driveway center, there's a different department. They have to run the entire thing with the profit.
Right.
So all these things we have achieved profits. Now we are working on the wet waste management. How you can
Okay.
create, how you can create a massive profits in wet waste processing.
Okay.
So it is in wet waste also there is a different kinds of waste based on the moisture. The moisture level is, let's say, moisture level varies from 5% to 95%. When you say in the garden waste, the moisture level is only 5 to 10%. In food waste, it is 98 to 99%. So based on the moisture content, the process differs. So
Right.
accordingly, we have to have different approaches for wet waste itself. Now
Right.
we have created a model called creating biomass fuel called briquettes
Right. Mm-hmm.
from the wet waste. So
Right.
we have created a new machine which squeezes. In wet
Mm-hmm.
waste management, the main problem is smell and flies
Right.
and the time and the space.
Mm.
These are all the main problem. You need more space for composting. You need more 60 days for
Mm.
getting the product. And after getting the product, you have to search for marketing. It
Right.
is not profitable. And you
Mm.
have fly menace, you have a smell menace, people won't allow you. In city, you need a very big space, it's very costly. So our thought process is city, you have to find us, you have to, with the less space, you have to handle more garbage. With the less time, you have to quickly process. And the product has to be hotcakes. As soon as you create, it has to be sold.
Right. Right.
So within that concept, what we achieved is the main problem in the wet waste is moisture. Moisture only
Right.
creates stink. Moisture only attracts the flies. So the
Mm.
moisture is the enemy. Remove the moisture, then you get the
Mm.
pulp. Dry the pulp, then it will become a
You get a
biomass.
byproduct to sell.
Biomass, then you create a briquette. We have a calorific value is 4,400
Oh, great.
ECV.
Right.
That big. Again, only briquette is not only a solution. You have to do
Right.
biogas. You have
We just got a report. You must have read it from United Nations that world is wasting 1 billion meals and there are 780 million hungry people. So what is
Mhm.
your view on it? Because it's a big issue, food. Food and food waste. Food waste is one of the largest methane generator. We are talking about vehicles, we are talking about plastic, but no one is looking at food because food consumes, growing food consumes a lot of energy, water, and talent, skill of human beings, a lot of land. And we just throw away this, even in India, where food waste was very uncommon 20 years back. I see a lot of cooked food being thrown away. On top of that, India was also wasting raw food like vegetables and fruits and other because of the lack of storage infrastructure. So, what do you think on this particular issue, the food waste?
There are a couple of things. There is one organization called No Food Waste in Coimbatore, which they started. Now they're operating across the country,
Mm-hmm.
where whatever occasions, marriages, and all, people cook more food and
Mm-hmm.
untouched food, it get wasted. So these people they'll collect and give it to go and give it to people who are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it. So that in a way that there's so many millions of meals are being every day being served.
Right.
That's one thing which is really great. The other
Mm-hmm.
thing is that today, because of thanks to these delivery food apps,
Mm-hmm.
that generates a hell lot of waste. Like two
Mm-hmm.
idlis, they'll get one sambar, one chutney, one kara chutney,
Right.
four
Right.
chutneys. This fellow
Mm-hmm.
will open one chutney, consume only 50%, rest of it they'll dump it.
Oh, yeah.
It is being prepared to get it dumped.
Mm-hmm.
Huge amount of waste is getting dumped. There are a lot
Right.
of awareness needs to be done. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to have a meeting called No Dumping Biryani Meet.
Okay.
No dumping biryani meat. To make people, what we'll do is we'll organize a small get together and we'll ask
Mm-hmm.
people to organize whatever you want. We will
Okay.
pay for it. Everybody will
Okay.
come, they will consume. So when they are ordering, we will take weight of everything.
Right.
After consuming, untouched food, how much?
Mm-hmm.
Post-consumed food is how much? And how they
Mm-hmm.
dispose. What is the
Mm-hmm.
waste quantity? So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, we'll give a press release. Or
Oh,
this entire event is kind of live. So that this much of waste, and we will value 1 liter of sambar costs this much. So these many liters
okay.
of sambar is being
Okay.
produced and being dumped, going to dump yard. So the very important aspect, the government has to
Mm-hmm.
bring a legislation here saying that if you want sambar, you buy, 100 gram sambar
Right.
or 100 ml sambar, 100 ml
Right.
chutney. You pay for idli and you get sambar free. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not right attitude, the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't consume, you but still get it and you throw it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
there we have to have a policy where the government have to say that everything has to be charged.
How do you see the sector grow, and what is your thought with the young entrepreneurs?
See,
in sustain.
there is a hell lot of opportunities there. Only thing is we need to have a right thought process. That's a each and everything that what do you say? Very big opportunities there. Very big opportunity. So people whoever wants to come and do in waste management, it's a great profession where they do a lot of great work to environment as well as so they can make very good business out of it. That's what my opinion is. After being in this area for 30 years, after volunteering and doing as a business, there's a great hell lot of opportunities here.
Okay, that's great. And, learning from Mr. Bhandari is great, and I don't think one session is enough. And our sessions were disrupted because of the power cut at my end in Greater Noida. So I think we will have to expand on whatever points Mr. Bhandari has suggested in one of the next sessions, Saturday for Sustainability. To let you know, Eco Chakra Abhiyan will also, with other experts like Mr. Bhandari and others, have training sessions on solid waste management as a business. What do you think?
Yeah.
Mr.
See,
Bhandari?
which I want to this is what I want to tell. It cannot be over by in one session because I want to get into the details. See, for example, dry waste management.
Right.
What could be the unit? What is the tonnage? What is the number of people they want? How the model could be? The people who wants to start it, how it can be profitable model. So we can get into the details of this.
Okay.
Then it will become useful for everybody.
Right.
So now we said why technology enabled waste management platform. So I have a platform where I have signups. Now people can use this platform everywhere, and we can help them.
Right.
You can see, for example, let's say Noida. Noida can use our platform. Hello. Noida can use our platform.
And we will learn with you all together. Namaskar. This is Saturday for Sustainability. Thank you, Mr. Bhandari. Thank you.
Thank you.